I should have done some sort of cool intro hook. Take your echoey audio from this. Hey everyone, welcome to Maritime Foam. To this. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Let's see how and get to the video. See, I still have that echo problem, but we're gonna see if we can fix that. I might be a foam flinging reviewer, but I end up buying a fair amount of gear to do that. So I thought it might be fun to review the latest thing, these DJI mics. Let's open this up, see what's in here, and see if it cleans up this echoey audio. To be fair, before I begin, the best way to get rid of echo isn't exactly just to buy new mics. You need to treat the room. That means either foam panels, sound absorbing rugs on the floor, heavy curtains if you can, and just filling your room with stuff like this mannequin. But since that hasn't done it, let's see if this mic helps. So I am far from an expert in microphones. I do a little bit of video work and photography, but miking I usually leave to others. Let's open up this lav mic and see how easy it is for me to figure out. We have a bag with some instructions and some cords. We have a little handy dandy thing for what's in the box right here. And we have this awesome charging case. I opted for the one that came with 2 microphones, and we have our receiver here because I thought with doing the live streams and doing things with Matt, it would definitely be cool to have 2 mics, especially for doing things on the road. So I see that the case already has a bit of a charge, so I'm gonna be able to try it out right away. So to recap, I do love self-contained things that I can throw in a bag. That's one thing I really preferred about the Insta GO2 to the Insta GO3. The GO2 had a clamshell design and really protected the lens, but the GO3 is the better camera. Maybe I'll do a video on that soon too. So we have the case, we have the receiver, we have 2 transmitters, the carry pouch, and we also have I don't know where it is. Oh, I see. We have a hot shoe adapter. If you don't know what that is, it lets you put this receiver in the hot shoe of a professional camera or any camera that has a hot shoe. We have this cool windscreen. We have 2 of these that kind of look like triples. And I love that there's spaces built right into the case. We have an iPhone adapter, which I love the idea of because I do so much on my phone to keep it easy, and a USB adapter. As I mentioned, we have that 3.5mm cable and a USB. I should mention too that these transmitters also have really strong magnets with them. So you can either traditionally clip like so, or use the magnets. I've used the Rhode mics a little bit, and I will say these are definitely smaller. This is looking promising. But what really matters is, how does it sound? Remember, this is not an in-depth review if you're an expert in audio. This is kind of a look at something if you do YouTube stuff or interview stuff, or you just have a room with some bad things happening, and you want to see what someone without a lot of experience on the audio side gets out of this. So I've plugged in the receiver into the bottom of the phone, and I have my mic on. I can see the levels on the receiver. Really, really cool. This thing also has a very far distance. I don't know that I'll be using that crazy distance a whole lot, but you know what? Maybe in some range testing with me wearing a mic and a friend or someone wearing a mic and being way down range, we could actually have conversations about the range test. So that could actually be pretty cool. I'm gonna stop right now and test this and see if it's automatically working with my built-in camera, or do I need to do something else to change what mic the iPhone is using? Like I told you, I don't know anything. I just listened to that in playback. I didn't have headphones on, or I could have monitored it as I went. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Now I still have some treating of the room to do. So I think between that and this new mic setup, I'm going to be able to record in this less than acoustically ideal room, no problem. I'm pretty happy with this. I don't even have to hit record on this. I can just plug in the receiver. The iPhone treats that as a mic in, and it just adds it to my audio file. Just remember, when you go to play that back, if you're not using headphones, you need to unplug the receiver, or else you won't be able to hear anything because it's putting the audio back out through the receiver, which is why my first test, I didn't think it worked. Smart. You can also hit record just to have backup audio as well if you want. Or if you just need to get quick audio, I could see this being a really, really cool way to do an on-the-fly podcast somewhere. If I'm at an event and I can grab a little bit of time to sit down and have a drink or coffee or chat with somebody, clip these on, and that is some easy podcasting. That's really cool. I'm just doing a quick and dirty video from this angle on my laptop camera just to show you how to set this up. I'm actually using my phone, so it's a little hard to show my phone sometimes. So I'm going to grab the receiver here. I'm going to grab the iPhone attachment for it. The USB plug is right there for it. The hot shoe attachment is right there. Oop, forgive my system sounds. There's a little handy dandy arrow right on here to show you which way, should have really muted that, to show you which way this slides in. It is kind of firm to slide in there. And since you have to take it out every time you want to charge this, I wish it didn't snap in. I wish it kind of was some sort of quick release instead of friction, but I'm sure it's fine. Here's the cool part. You take this receiver, you plug it in, and you can see it's detected. And now if I grab a microphone here, you can see that it's taking levels. And now when I do a video on here, a thrilling one of that radiator. But once I do my video, now the sound from this mic is actually going to be baked right into that video file. So that's really cool and makes it really easy to use this as well without really changing up my whole workflow of what I do. I can hit record and now this is recording all on its own. What an easy way to record audio or record an interview or record whatever when you're out on the go. And there's a USB plug right there, so I can just plug in and drag that file off. I could see myself, especially if it was something really important, hitting record on this. There's up to 15 hours of recording time, I believe, on this. I can see myself hitting record as a backup and then just delete them if I don't need it. That way you don't have to worry too about if you lose transmission or anything like that. So probably a good habit to do backup recordings. Apparently too, for any of you looking at these LEDs thinking, oh, that'll be distracting, you can turn them off now, I guess too. There is a firmware update. It is a little bit stiff to get this iPhone adapter back out. It's not that hard, but I'm trying to do it in a way where I'm not actually pushing on the iPhone connector. I'm just trying to push on the thin ridge that goes around it, just because I don't want to damage anything. But I hope they sell these separately because I'll probably get an extra one. I could just see wearing this out, especially if I'm taking it on and off all the time in order to charge my device here. So clip that back in. Thank goodness they made slots to hold these in the case, or I would lose that adapter immediately. It really seems like this is exactly what I needed. I just wanted to keep recording with my phone. It gives me good quality until I can eventually get a different camera that's dedicated for this and for streaming. I don't have to change anything, but I've given myself more audio options and definitely improved the sound here. I'm not using these mics right now. We're back to the Echo just while I show this off. But when I come back to the other camera, I'll be using these lav mics again. So that's it. That's my quick review of these. It's by no means the be all end all, but if you're in a similar situation to me, it might help. I'm using it this time with the windscreen on it. That was recommended to me to do most of the time if you don't mind the look. And these just kind of go on over the built-in mic and twist on. They're really easy to put on and off. I should also mention, if you want even closer audio, you can plug in a smaller mic right into this transmitter and put that right up on your lapel. I don't think I'll need to do that for what I'm usually doing. I'm okay to live with the mic in frame if it means that you can hear me really well. I didn't talk about it a whole lot. The receiver does have a touchscreen on the top. I love that it's lit up. It always shows the charging status. The menus are pretty easy to navigate. It's a pretty small touchscreen. I won't go into all the details of that. If you get one, you can dive into that yourself. But I will say that these couldn't be simpler. I know with the Rode mics, you can get an adapter and you can use those with an iPhone, but it can be a little bit finicky. I know a couple people that have used it and they said they always had trouble getting it working. This has worked every time and it came ready to work with an iPhone. I'll be playing with this a whole lot more. Ask me questions down below if you're curious at all about these mics and how they've been working. And honestly, you'll be able to see how they're working because they're going to be in all of my videos now. And one last note, I know on YouTube, you see a lot of people using a mic right in front of them or a boom mic or a shotgun mic. I just wanted to be flexible. I wanted to be able to move around a little bit. I'm gonna be holding blasters, lifting up blasters, doing mods. I wanted a mic that moved with me. And there's pros and cons to that too, but I think that overall, this will work way better for me and my channel. Thanks so much to listen to a Nerf guy talk on about audio, which he doesn't know a whole lot about. If you're in my boat, maybe this was comforting to you if you're trying to make a decision. And if you're trying to get something that improves the audio on your iPhone, this is really hard to beat. It's a bit expensive. I think it was about 450 Canadian. You can get a cheaper option for around 300 if you just get the one mic and transmitter, but I wanted to do the two, as I mentioned before, just in case, or for interviews, whatever. I do stream. I just thought it would be handy. I will see you in the next one, and that'll probably be about some sort of foam blaster. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. I'm just walking back to work, and I just wanted to say, you don't need expensive gear to fix everything. I could probably have done a lot of the same things with more blankets and pillowcases or mattresses to soften the sound off my walls if I was willing to do that in that room. Or the whole life of my channel, I've just been using an iPhone, but it was in a room that worked. The audio is important, but there's different ways to get there. In my case, I decided to invest in a piece of equipment to solve for my needs. So I don't want you to think you have to have this mic in order to do videos, but you may need it if you want to film in a certain location. All right, that's it.